Good morning, fellow option traders, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, March 11th, 2013. Quick look at the market and a potential opening. I consider this flat, less than 0.1%, less than 0.01% actually, is not what I would consider a down opening. I would consider it flat. However, what's interesting here from a percentage perspective, at least the difference between the Dow and the larger indexes, remember the Dow is only 30, but here we have 500, and NQ I believe is comprised of, how many are we talking here? Does it say? It's acting goofy on me. 100. In that particular index, there's 2,000 in the Russell. So, the more you have, the better the overall sampling. However, the less you have, the more specific you're talking about. And these are really, the Dow 30 is really some big stocks, some big companies, I guess I should say. But I'm rattling on here. What I would like to do first off is take a look at the week coming up here. Nothing on Monday, and that's pretty common. There's nothing really big market affecting that they usually schedule for Monday. Really nothing for Tuesday either. There's a little gold star here, but Wednesday is a big one. Retail sales at 8:30 in the morning. Thursday, then we have the every Thursday jobless claims, and then the producer price index, and on Friday the consumer price index, and then industrial production. So this is kind of a sort of a big week, I guess you might say. I think that these are more affecting than some of the other like Fed announcements and things like that. So especially if they do something unexpected either way, either positively or negatively. Okay, let's get back to our existing portfolios. From an extremely high level overall, we're not doing so hot. We're down almost 200 on our calendars, but most of these are insurance policies with the exception of MasterCard. And the rest of these are looking pretty down. Both of these are directional trades, so we'll get into that. Most of the rest of these are neutral trades or profit 10 portfolio trades. So if we break it out by account, this is the spread account. This is our insurance policy for a pullback on the spiders, and then we have the Apple that I entered last week. And remember when I was talking about it, I think it might have been Wednesday or Thursday, and I said, if I go directional on Apple to the downside, it's going to turn around. And guess what it did? So, but that's the way that goes. I still have 5 days left on that. Apple can do anything in 5 days. And if we're looking at our short strike is at 420, and Apple right now is at 431, it can move 10 points in an hour. So I'm not really worried about that. I made a bet. That's a 1-to-1 risk-reward bet, and at the money spread. So that's what I'm shooting for. Same thing with Amazon, although it's starting to get a little bit out of reach, but that was a 1-to-1 risk-reward also. The short strike's at 260 and the current price is 274. It would have to make a pretty steady march down this week in order to get at or near or below that 260. But again, same thing as with Apple. It was my directional bet. And Chipotle pretty much should, I'll go to the Analyze tab. That one pretty much should work out well this week. My expectations are that it will work out well anyway. If we take a look at a chart, although It's a pretty strong move coming down here, but on the weekly chart, we're still marching up. And we're looking for, we have a target here to jump in again on this. I don't know if it can move. It could move very quickly past here, but we're just going to sit tight and wait and see what happens. The rest of the positions, well, let's see, that covers all of them in the spread account. Let's go to the Profit 10 portfolio, which consists of this also is a double calendar that I put on. And if you remember, I was just looking for IWM or the Russell 2000 to make a move down, to pull back, to correct, or whatever you might want to call it. And here it is here. So we're just looking for it to just come back and maybe down around 90 or 91, which it could do pretty easily. And we take a look at a chart. It could do that. Now this is a pretty strong candle, but at a high point here, it's interesting to see that particular type of a candle. Sort of similar to this one here, and then we had a pullback. So we'll see. This is a large move in the Russell. So let's see if she's going to come back. MasterCard, that's another double calendar. And you can see that these tense polls last week was in the mid 300s, and now they're down to 293. So this has got to do something quickly, and I don't know what it's going to do. If we look at MasterCard, another similar candle to the Russell 2000 here, where there's a lot of fighting going on during the day, and the bulls won. So we'll see what happens this week. That's pretty much the story and everything, isn't it? And the rest of these, with the exception of this Panera, the rest of these are iron condors. Now, I put on an iron condor on MasterCard and Netflix on Friday using the April expiration. And on Netflix, I just wanted to note here, let's take a look at the risk profile on that. On Netflix, actually the strike down here at 150, I'm looking for deltas a little bit below 20 or at 20, preferably below 20, like maybe 17 or 18. But in this particular case, I was able to pick a delta of 12. And the reason why I picked it is I just wanted more room. And my objective is to get $1 credit on these. So I was able to pull $1.17 out of that, even though my delta down here was it was 12 at the time that I picked it out. And let's take a look. See what it is now. Short is at 11, so 11 and a half. So I was able to, and still get my $1 plus credit, able to push this one down a little bit further. Did the put a little bit further because, well, there's more volatility and premium in the puts anyway. So that's where I generally, if I want to unbalance an iron condor, that's usually what I do, is I go ahead and do it on the put side. But still, this particular one is pretty well balanced with a delta of 42. And if we look at the rest of them, Amazon is a delta of 1.5, Baidu's 0.78, CF is 4.5, MasterCard is 2.2, 2.25, and Netflix is effectively 0. So we're doing good there. And if we take a look at, well, we can go and take a look at Panera, and we'll just shut these other ones off, and we'll see what we're sitting with delta 5.8 or 6, you could say, on Panera. Okay, that is it for the current holdings in review and things that happened Friday. Another thing that happened Friday was I did get an alert on CF. It did trigger at the market open, and when I went to go take a look at the chart, I saw this candle here, and I said, well, it opened strong, gapped up, and it was just coming down and coming down and coming down, and I said, well, I'm going to pass on it for today. Now, I should have come back later in the day, mid-morning maybe, like 10:30 or so, and taken another look at it, but I was not available at that time, and it took off. So, not really going to do anything about that right now. I may have missed a trade, but that's okay. I'm not going to cry about it. Alright, at least not in a video. I might when I get off of here, but not in a video. Alright, now we will go through our A+ list. Put up the Analyze tab here. Okay, here's my Apple trade. Ouch. Okay, so looking at Apple, we were looking at a possible secondary entry here, which is we did get our hook here. That's when I entered, and I entered on this day, and it was looking really good to the downside, and then up she goes. So there's nothing here right now. We're in a downtrend. Our stochastic's way up here, and on the weeklies we're in a downtrend also, and our stochastics are even further away. So we'll look for maybe another bump here and then for it to come back down. Will it do it by Friday? I don't know. It might. It might. Amazon. We have a lot of positions on in Amazon. Well, not a lot, but overall in all the accounts we do. We have an iron condor, and then we have the bear call. And we might... that one, I'm not sure. We may have hit, here we have some consolidation, we may pull back, I don't know. Sure would like to see it come down here to this target, and that's what we're looking for. Nothing there yet at this time. Baidu. Get this off the screen. Alright, Baidu, we have a iron condor on right now. We're in a downtrend, a new downtrend, I guess you might say. A stochastic down here. We're looking for it to come back up here. Same thing on the weekly. We're definitely in a long-term downtrend here, and we're looking for it to come back up. So no setups even close there. CF, we already talked about that one. Missed that trade, and like I said, I won't cry on screen about it. No, that's not a sniffle. That's just crud in my nose. Alright, Chipotle. Alright, we're looking for a secondary entry here, like I mentioned before. So we have our target set down here. We have close to a setup, but nothing there. Salesforce.com. Another interesting candle, same as we observed on some other charts. That's pretty interesting, but we are looking for a long entry, and we're looking for stochastic to come back down here. Long term on the weekly chart, we're in an uptrend, and stochastic is up, and we would be looking for it to at least come down to the mid in the 40s or 50s, but nothing there. Here's a long-term entry right here. Google. It's coming down here. We have CF and Google. I'm just making a note here because I'm not putting an alert on them yet, but I want to make a note. that they're getting close to a setup. Okay, MasterCard, and a nice strong uptrend. No potential setups here, and no setups on the long term either. Netflix. Yeah, we didn't get the setup here that I was hoping for, and it's just a little bit too flat for me to pick anything there, at least short term. Long term, there could be a setup coming on this, but a little worried about this particular move here from a momentum perspective, running out of steam. So I am going to actually put, just for a little bit of a change, I'm going to put a circle here, a target, and we'll see if it comes down. Maybe that's a little bit soon. It might take it a while to develop. Maybe next month sometime. Let's see what happens. It's fun, isn't it? Come on. There we go. Okay, price line. Alright, price line is also maybe setting up. Just made a note of that one too. And last but not least, Panera. I didn't get my alert triggered. Boy, it came pretty close, didn't it? And this would be my alert to exit this trade. There. Yeah. That would be my alert to exit this trade. So, not really worried about it. Right now, still have the alert out there. We'll just kind of keep track of that. And then that's it. That's everything pretty much that I wanted to cover today. At least on the live trades. I wanted to just go and take a little peek at paper trade and let you know that the iron condors for March are doing pretty well. I did not exit CF like I had talked about a couple of times in the past. It keeps moving up, so I'm just going to sit tight and see how this finishes out. I'll make a decision maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Rest of them are doing pretty good. And even the Amazon. I think the Amazon is just a little bit on the hot side here. We're just hoping that it has a little bit of a pullback this week. But I'm just going to let it ride and see what happens. Maybe I should put an alert on Amazon. Where's my break even here? 276. So I am going to go into live and do an alert on Amazon. And we're going to go at or above 276. I'm going to put an alert on that. And it's not, anything that, it's not a live trade alert, but this is where the alerts work. They don't work in paper trade, I don't believe. They do work in a funded account, so I will be notified if it moves up above 276. And we're not looking at anything. It's pretty typical open here. The bid ask 274 is pretty much in between this bid and ask, so nothing really shocking will be happening on Amazon at the open anyway. That's what I'm anticipating. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.